It's the number one hustler. I turn a hater to a customer. It's the number one hustler. I turn a hater to a customer. Trying to get this right. I'm trying to live this life. I put in work and still be earning stripes. So it's the number one hustler. I turn a hater to a customer. Trying to get this right. I'm trying to live this life. I put in work and still be earning stripes. So
hey everyone, guess who's back? It's Kamish, back here with another team preview. This time it's John and my ball, Zach Ertz, our third new owner previewed so far this year. A guy who I said in the off-season when he was added it was going to bring respect to the East, and I think he has done that. Let's get into his draft grade. I gave him a draft grade of an A. I will say this about John, though. Here's the thing. The owner before him decided he didn't want to pay and basically got eliminated out of the format. But he traded a ton of decent players away for good picks and put John in the position he is. I mean, I got to say I respect George for not doing that, even though he knows he's leaving. He said he's not going to trade any picks to make it easy for I guess for the new owner. At least he just has a standard template. But for John, he won the Tier 2 championship last year, so he deserved first pick on which team to pick, and he picked the right one, in my opinion. And it set him up for success. So let's go into his draft. First round, first pick of the draft went Leonard Fournette. Obviously, lots of scrutiny with this pick always, but McCaffrey, Lynch, and Dalvin Cook obviously picked after, so it'll be interesting to see if he made the right choice with Fournette. He probably did, because let's face it, they got to run the ball on every play. I mean, Bortles or Henne, those guys are CFL caliber quarterbacks. So then you got Jonathan Stewart. Questionable pick here, in my opinion. He could add Meredith or Kareem Hunt. It's clear that McCaffrey is going to get most of the snaps, in my opinion. Stewart might get some goal line plunges, though, so it might pay off. Second round, he went tight end, understanding that tight ends get thin early. He went Ebron and Doyle, two really good ones. After Ebron, Ertz and Hunter Henry were picked, so we'll see if he picked the right one there. And the only pick after Doyle was Marvin Jones, so I think Doyle is probably a pretty decent pick there. Third round, I think he got a pair of great young wide receivers. Thielen, who was a great target for Bradford when he got in there, and Devontae Parker. So Marlon Mack was probably a notable pick after Thielen, and after Devontae Parker, I would say probably Tyrell Williams and Jordan Matthews, but still pretty good picks there, I would say. Round 4, again, 2 picks, went Jonathan Williams and Luke Kuechly. Obviously, Williams there if McCoy gets hurt. Booker, Ginn, and Burkhead were picked after him. And with Kuechly, I mean, we saw the injury last year, but I think he'll come back. Mike Williams was picked after him. That was notable. And then in the 5th round, bulked up on tight end again. Dwayne Allen taking over Martellus Bennett's role in New England, giving my ball Zach Ertz a lot of tight end depth there. Some of the tight ends picked after were Jesse James, Ingram, and Charles Clay. So I think Dwayne Allen clearly a great value pick there in the 5th round. 6th round, no pick. 7th round went Eric Kendricks and the Vikings defense. So I don't know if John's a Vikings fan. He must be, because the 8th round he went Harrison Smith and Everson Griffin. So maybe we know something now about John, that the Vikings are his favorite team, just like you guys always rip me off with the Browns. But and then the 9th and 10th round, John had no picks, but you saw he had all those early picks early on. So draft grade of an A, well-deserved. I think he had all those picks, and I think he made the right choices. But now let's look at his lineup. So at quarterback, he obviously traded for Mariota from me. I went Winston, drafted in the same year. We'll see who has the better year this year. I think both are going to have good years. He has Trubisky and Cody Kessler. Cody Kessler's useless at this point, but Trubisky, I think, will start in Chicago, if not week 1 eventually. At running back, the running backs are kind of thin considering all the draft picks he had. He has Fournette, but after that, Charles Sims. He might start 3 games tops if he does even start. Jonathan Stewart, Alfred Morris, and Jonathan Williams. So the running game is thin compared to some of the other contenders, but obviously he makes it up for it with his wide receivers. You got Garcon, you got Brandon Marshall, Crowder, Thielen, Devontae Parker, Andre Holmes, Treadwell, Cruz, and Streeter. A lot of depth, a lot of guys that are going to get and make plays, so good news for him. And then at tight end, probably one of the best tight end groups in all of the league, Doyle, Ebron, and Dwayne Allen, along with Jake Butt. So great strategy there for John on the tight ends. Kicker, he's got McManus. He's always been a good kicker. Defense, the Vikings defense is going to be solid. At DL, great DLs in Everson Griffin, Leonard Williams, and Cameron Jordan. Linebacker, again, Beasley, Kuechly, Kendricks, and Perry. So not too many reserves, but he does have a pretty good linebacker group there. And then at DB, a great DB group too. Probably one of the best. Eric Berry, Harrison Smith, Honey Badger, Clinton Dix. Are you kidding me? Along with Swearinger. Great group of DBs there for my ball Zach Ertz. So what's it all going to equate to for John with his win-loss projection? So for a team that finished 19th place last year, John's schedule actually was kind of tough looking at the win-loss. So let's just get into it. Week 1 against new division rival Robert and Templars. Will this be a changing of the guard? It's a Week 1 win for John and my ball Zach Ertz. Week 2 against Luke and Too Good for a Name. I got a loss for John in that one. Week 3 against Brian and the 12th Man. I got a win for John in that one. And then Week 4 against Steven in US1. I think you know the answer. That's going to be a win. So a nice 3-1 start through 4. Would it continue? Well, let's find out. So Week 5 against Billsy Bob Tim Horton. I got a loss for John in that one. And then Week 6 taking on divisional rival Sean and Drink AJ OJ. That's a win there. And then against Chris and True North, a loss in Week 7. And then Week 8 against Longyard and Ryan. I actually got a loss in that one. The matchups in some of these games aren't the greatest for John. He's missing some players. So after a 3-1 start, all of a sudden 4-4 through 8. All of a sudden maybe a cause for concern. Week 9 against Saving Matt's Ryan, another new owner. I got a loss there. So all of a sudden 4-5 for John. Could be a disaster, but let's find out. So heading into Week 10 against Kristen Storm. Got a win there. Week 11 against divisional rival Pack Attack and George. A win there. And then Week 12 against other new owner Brandon and Wolves. A win there. So what it means for John is he ends the season with 3 straight wins. I have him going 4-0 against his own division, which is going to help him to a 7-5 record. I think it will be good enough to win the division. The interesting thing is, even with all those picks he had, he never put the money in this year. You never get an opportunity like that. Next year, he's going to have to pay the $40 to keep playing. And I think that'll be a true test of where John really is at as an owner, because he had all these picks this year, never took advantage. He will be the division winner, but somebody else will win the $20 prize, and I don't want to reveal that just yet. Good luck.